1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, bitch.
All right, girls. Well, we rehearsed.
To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. Everything you own in a box to the left. In the closet, that's my stuff. Yes, if I bought it, say, don't touch.
Girl, we sound mad good.
What's poppin', everybody, and welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for tuning into yet another episode of Everything Ladonna, where we talk about everything and anything, cha. Now, if you are new here, welcome, baby. I really hope that you'll enjoy this video and that will make you hit that subscribe button somewhere over here. And if you are a regular subscriber, gang, say one, what's good, what's up, what it's you, cha. I really hope that you are well and that you are taking care of yourself, okay? Now, as you can see from the title of the video, it's yet another story time. And today, guys, this story time, I honestly did not plan this story time. I asked you guys like 30 minutes ago if I should record it today because today is a Monday and I am exhausted. I had a long day at work, came back, I had a class at 6, so busy, guys. But I remembered a story which I was like, this is a story fit for a story time, né? Because the person in question actually texted me and they were like responding to one of my stories, and I was like, not one of my stories here, but my stories on WhatsApp, or my statuses on WhatsApp. So he responded to my statuses and we had like a dialogue with it, but it wasn't anything deep, okay? So so I remember the story and I was like, asking you guys on Instagram if I should actually record it today or I should wait for the weekend. And you guys, you motherfucking guys, you guys said today. And I was like, you know what? You don't have to tell me twice. So I'm here to tell you guys that story. So the story today is about the time that I actually, how do I put this? Am I gonna say this time that I smashed my landlord, or the time that I smashed my landlord's husband? Because they were husband and wife and I smashed the husband, right? So, yeah. So it's like the time that I smashed my landlord. And as usual, we have here some wine, some vino, because one thing about us, we are wine girls here and we drink it from a cup or a mug. So make sure that you also have something to lubricate and something to actually calm your nerves, because one thing about me, zanenza in nerves. Bro, because what is this that I've been doing? Like, you know, guys, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Because wow, son. So before I get into the story, please do make sure that you subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment down below. Do not forget to push that post notification bell so that you get notified every time I drop a video. And also, you guys, one thing that I've noticed is that whenever you guys share this video or my videos on Instagram and Twitter and wherever that you guys share my videos, I literally get an influx of new subscribers, which I love so much. And as a result, we have reached 3,000 subscribers, and it's all because of you guys. Like, I am so happy. I'm so happy. And like, I literally lack words to express my gratitude to all of you guys for riding with me, and it's literally just upwards and onwards from here, okay? So without wasting any of your time, let's get into the video. So this story happened around 2018, beginning to the late 2018, beginning 2019, I think. Because I remember I wanted a story about the guy that I moved in with, who was working for Klanta, and we moved in together. I forgot what I named him on that video, but this is right after we broken up, ne? This is right after I broke up with that guy. And remember that he left me at my apartment, and I was like, you know what? This apartment is very expensive for me to live in alone. So I would find another place, yeah, bro? So I had moved out of that apartment and I was like, crazily looking for another. I was desperate for a new place because the rent there had me in a chokehold, okay? So I was like looking for a new place to stay. So I am here, I'm online, I'm looking for a new place, and I find an owner, because the last place I moved into, which is the one that I was moving out of now, I was renting that from like an agency, ne? Then I found a place where the owner was actually renting out their own apartment. You understand? So I found the owner's details online, texted the owner, and we're like going back and forth, telling me about, okay, this is how much rent is, this is how much you will need to move in, and so we basically sorted everything out online and via text and stuff. So eventually I had to like go and like see the place and view the place. Went there, saw the place, it was quite nice, yeah, bo? So I was like, yes, I'm taking it. I paid my rent, paid my deposit, and everything else. So when I had moved out from that other place that I was staying at, because the rent was was a lot for me, and I was like, I'm not sure what's going on. So what had happened was, because the rent was a lot at that other place I was staying at, I had moved in with like a friend for a month or 2 months, and because I had furniture and stuff at that place, I was like, let me sell this shit, because one thing I was broke, because this guy, I had to rent out an apartment which I was sharing with someone, so I had to leave that apartment, and I had to sell my furniture that I had. So I sold everything. I was left with like a few things with. So I had moved in with a friend of mine and like sold most of my stuff. Now, what had happened was, when I then found this place, I only like had a bed and a few things with it. I didn't have much, yeah, bo? So I moved into this place after liaising with the owner of this apartment. Now, the owner of the apartment, or the person I was speaking to, was a lady. Yeah, bo? So it was a lady, and when I met her, she was with her children, 2 kids. It was a boy and a girl. The younger one was a girl, and it wasn't like an older boy. Sharp. So they lived in the same building that they were renting out. Yeah, bo? So they had another apartment somewhere else, or they lived in another apartment, but in the same building. And then there was another vacant apartment that was in the same building that they were leasing out. So she told me that she owned that apartment. And yeah, so I was gonna pay everything to her. So when I pay rent, I pay to her, and everything that I need fixed, I liaise with her. Yeah, bo? Sharp. So I move in, and like they even helped me move my stuff, her and her kids. So they were like helping me move in, and I'm sure she noticed, but now, oh, this one doesn't even have pots, because I didn't even have pots. I only had my bed, my bedding, and my clothes, I think. Ne? Yeah. So, guys, I didn't even have a fridge because I sold that shit. So now I'd moved in, and this lady texts me on some, no, listen, I'm cooking supper, would you like to come for supper? I'm like, yeah, sure. So again, remember, I had recently just moved in. I didn't have much. I didn't have pots, I didn't have a fridge, so I didn't have food, essentially. I was living off takeouts, and she was like, come through for some home cooked food. So I went up to her apartment. I got there, and it was her and the children. So now we eat, we have supper. She tells me all about herself, and she tells me that she's married, and. Now, this lady was a lady who was a Xhosa lady, ne? She was a Xhosa lady, but married to a guy from Zimbabwe. So she tells me about this guy, that no, he's a businessman, blah. So they, both of them, own a couple of businesses. Like they had a warehouse where they were making furniture. They had a logistics company, and when I say company, I use this word very loosely because they just had 2 trucks. So they were like helping people move, our truck for hire type of thing. So they had 2 trucks. They had a warehouse where they were making furniture. They had this guy. What else was this guy doing? Like, he was also doing like these handy jobs like plumbing and whatnot. So he was someone who was very handy, yabo. So but I hadn't met this guy yet. Ne? Sure. So fine, I have supper with this lady and her children, and let's give her a name. Let's give her a name. We're gonna name her Spokas. So we'll name her Spokas. Spokas. So Uspokazi, I am at her place, I'm having supper, it's me, her, and her children. So Nyanke supper goes well, she tells me all about herself, tells me about her husband, her children, and. Now this guy, because they do all of these jobs and own all of these businesses and run all of these businesses, this guy was out mostly like late in the night and he would come back ngobsuku, yabo. So I never got to meet this guy in my early encounters with Uspokazi and her inviting me over to her house. So I think for literally the whole month, I would go there like in a week, like 4 times in a week. She would invite me over for supper like 4 times in a week. And we would have supper, like me, her, and her children. Now her children started calling me Malume. So they doing Malume, yabo. Sharp. Now, one day, Shushu day, Uspokazi and I have a pretty good relationship, yabo. One day, Shushu day, in this apartment that I'm renting out, there was some plumbing issues, yabo. There was some plumbing issues. So I tell Spokazi, because she's my landlord. So I tell her, Wana, listen, I'm having some plumbing issues. Can vula itap a bathroom, ivuza apanga pants, like water comes out from like the bottom when I open the tap. So she's like, no, I'm gonna send someone to come and fix it. And what did she do? Oh, she sent me a number. Sent me a contact, said, call this, text this guy or call this guy, tell him that you have some plumbing issues at your unit, he's gonna come through. Now she addresses this person as call this guy. Sharp. So I am not sure if Spokazi was aware of my sexuality at this point in time. But right now, child, all I know is she knows, okay? She motherfucking knows. So, Spokazi gives me this number. I text this number. I'm like, hey, it's Lelona. I live at unit Ntontoni. I got your number from Spokazi, who is my landlord. She said I must text you and let you know of the plumbing issue that I have. Now this guy's like, bet. Give me a few minutes. I'm gonna be at your unit just now. Sharp. Okay, he comes through. Now there's a knock at the door. I quickly go up and I go to the door. I open the door. And when I open the door, there's a guy standing there. This guy has dreadlocks, and you can see it when I'm going to or sebenza ngezandla, yabo, because he had an overall and he wasn't much to look at, but you know when kukhona abantu noma yo sana uyindoda le, but akekho mhla like if he would send me a selfie, I would go crazy. Like I wouldn't go crazy if this guy sent me a selfie, but looking at everything, I'm like indoda, and he was speaking Zulu, and I'm like, not bad actually, but but you know what I mean, right? So this guy gets to my door, he's like, hey, I am, let's give him the name Tando. He's like, hey, I'm Tando. I was sent by Uspokazi. You texted me earlier. No. So I'm the guy who's gonna fix plumbing issues out. Sharp. So I take him to my room where my bathroom was. Yeah, boy. So I take him to my room. I like, oh, this is where the problem is. I show him to. No, it wasn't this apartment, by the way. So I show him to like the bathroom. I'm like, this is what's going on. I show him what's going on, and he's like, okay, I can fix this. Fixes it, and then he leaves. Yeah, boy. Sharp. So now, later on that evening, Spokazi invites me again for supper, and I go back up. And when I got back to her apartment, or when I got to her apartment, so we're busy talking, and then I'm like, tell me, who's that man that came to my apartment that you gave me number yake? And then she laughs. She's like, why? I'm like, no, I'm just asking. And she's like, that's my husband. I'm like, oh, okay. And before I asked that, I was literally talking about I don't know what we were watching, but there was something we were watching. One thing about this podcast, she loved watching those is it Z World? Those Indian movies, yeah, bro. So in one of the movies we were watching, there was a general worker caretaker in a rich family in Tonton, yeah, bro. So it was like a rich family. They had someone that was doing EP's jobs and odd jobs around the house. So that guy was quite hot, and I was like, he's hot. And I said to her that I have a thing for people who work with their hands and stuff like that, yeah, bro? Or something along those lines, but not like I have a thing for abantu who do like general work and stuff like that. And she loves, and I'm like, it's so sexy because I've seen it in like movies where there would be a plumber who just takes off his shirt and starts fixing, or a mechanic or something like that. Yeah, but so I spoke about that and we laughed about it. Now, when I asked about this and she was like, that's my husband, and asks, why are you asking? I'm like, no, I was just asking. She says, hey, Wena, you said you have a thing for abantu who do handwork and general work and what, and we laugh about that. So, but I was like, ah, wait, no, not him, but I was just asking about him, yeah, but I wasn't interested like that. That's what I told her. And Vele, I don't think I was interested in the person as to, like, I would even ask her, Bana, no, hook me up if it wasn't her husband. You understand? I wasn't, just stand now about me. Just stand. So, we continue with this, me going up to her apartment for like a month, because for that whole month I was living on takeouts. I didn't have a fridge, I didn't buy pots. I was just waiting up until I get paid the month end so that I can be able to like buy these things that I need. Sharp. Now, one of the Sundays she invites me to her apartment, and when I get there, that guy was there, and I know for a fact that this guy is her husband because she told me that this guy is my husband. So I get there and like I'm all smiles and I'm jolly, way to be joyful, jolly, you understand? So I get there and she's like, oh, Lelona, this is my husband, Tando, Lelona. And I'm like, we met. And Tando stands up and gives me a hug. And I'm like, a hug, my brother? But I wasn't mad at the hug because one thing about the brother, as much as he was someone who was doing, let me say, odd, but that day, because it was a Sunday and it smelled so good. And I was like, I'm not mad at this hug. But it was kind of awkward because I don't know him like that. I met him once when he came to like fix the plumbing in my apartment. So we sit there and now we are having all of these conversations. We're talking. And Utando is very interested and is very engaging, yeah, bro. So he's very interested in like, who are you? Where are you from? What do you do? And we're like having a conversation. I have literally forgotten about us pokas and the kids. I'm like, fuck them kids. So I'm like, fuck them kids. Now, Uspokazi was pregnant also. Uspokazi was pregnant. And like, but it was like at her early stages of a pregnancy, like, I'm sure like 4 months, 5 months, but she wasn't too far off yet. Fuchane to like delivering, yeah, but sharp. So Tando and I are going back and forth and having conversations. We are literally challenging each other intellectually. One thing about men from Zim, very intellectual, very smart up here, ne? So he spoke. I don't think I knew that Tando was Zimbabwean up until we started talking. Because I don't think Uspokazi said that, no, he's from Zimbabwe. I think I only realized because he said against, and I was like, he's Zimbabwean, because all this time he was speaking English and Zulu. So I thought he was Zulu up until he said against. And I was like, okay, no, I'm Zimbabwean, no. Yeah, but sharp. So, and it made sense why this guy was so smart and was like challenging intellectually, and we were having like a back and forth intellectual sparring, if I can call it that. So we talk, we're laughing. And Spokazi would even mention Ubana, hey, you guys seem to be hitting it off, yabo. I'm like, yeah, we are. So fast forward, I live in their building, or I live in the apartment, they live in the apartment upstairs, and they are my landlords. Now we fast forward time to another incident where I was having a problem with my shower. Now my shower, that shower Ntontoni, ne? I don't know what you call it, landing and then you screw it on to the shower. It came out, and when it came out, it didn't come out as though it was unscrewed. Ingati yo pukile, and that plate and that place or that thing that screws on is like still there. So I can't take it out. So I called Spokazi again. No, I didn't call Spokazi, I called her husband now. So I called her husband directly. I was like, listen, my shower Ntonton has been, like, it's broken. And he's like, okay, let me come and check it out. Mugai comes. When he gets to the door, I open for him and he gives me a hug. He's like, hey, how are you? Gives me a hug and he's like, oh, what's going on? And then I take him again to the bathroom. I'm showing him, okay, no, this is what's going on. This thing fell and your pukile, it didn't unscrew your pukile. And then he's like, okay, no, it means he must get an entire new tonton wetu. Yeah, but for him to be able to replace your kelant. He's like, okay, I'm gonna be back later on to fix everything. And then he's like, don't tell us podcast. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, but to me, it was a bit weird as to don't tell us podcast that or whatever, but just don't tell Spokazi about this. Did it sharp. So and then starts texting me while he's at the store or wherever he went to like get this. Starts texting me, man. He's showing me all of these things. Okay, so which shower head do you think looks nice out of these ones? He sends me pictures, he's sending me voice notes, and I'm listening to this guy speak, and I'm like, oh, he actually sounds so cute. Like, one thing about me, I've got a thing about voices. Like, when a man has a manly voice, but sounds soft and soft-spoken and stuff like that, I'm like, I get taken by someone's voice. So, as much as I've seen his face, and his face isn't much, but I'm hearing his voice and listening to his voice notes, and I'm thinking, oh, he sounds so cute. Guys, Liule. Because what is this? So we're having these conversations and we're having this chat. What do you like? Which one looks nice? Blah, 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 blah. Man comes back and he replaces that shower head and stuff, like it just replaces. Guys, I don't know. And that's the next thing about like, I'm horrible. Yeah, so he fixes it and then it looks nice. And I'm like, oh yeah. So he says to me, so now you can be able to have like shower sex without worrying. But he says like a weird remark about shower sex and how now I'll be able to have shower sex nicely, because the one that he brought were one of those huge ones. So straight down, he brought one of those and he's like, now you can have shower sex and not worry or something like that. And I was like, only if I was having sex. Now the conversation about sex starts, because I'm like, only if I had someone to have sex with, because one thing about me, I'm single as nuts. So he laughs about that and we talk about relationships. Now we're literally standing by the kitchen and like he's done, he's supposed to leave, but he's just standing by the counter, like literally a counter, and we're just having talks. And so he's on the other side of the counter, I'm on this side, and I'm like this on the counter, and he's like this on the counter. So, and we're just talking and laughing. And I'm telling him about the relationship I was in and the reason why I actually moved into this apartment. And he's like, oh wow, I'm so sorry about what you went through, blah 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 blah. So now this guy shows me his like sensitive and gentle side and his vulnerable side, because he's like listening to me speak and pour my heart out, and he's receiving all of that with compassion and empathy, and so I'm like, oh, he's a good listener. Actually, I'm like, he's a good listener, and I like that. I like a man who can listen and give you good responses. He doesn't have to give you advice or anything, but the fact that he's listening and is engaging with you while you are vulnerable while you're vulnerable and stuff like that. So we continue with our chat and iphelele to ahambe. But now this guy, whenever I would post statuses, he would respond to my statuses and we would have a conversation after me posting the status. I don't know what happened or what I posted, but I posted something about tops, verse, and bottoms, and then he's like, wait, now what are you? And I'm like, so I respond, I'm like, I'm versatile. And then he's like, and then I ask him, why I ask him. So he's like, so I say, I'm versatile, and then I say, you, ati, lol, why are you gonna say me? You're sorry, it's a habit, because I'm used to answering this question. So he asked me, so what role? That thing I posted is about sex or bed positions and bed roles when it comes to LGBTQIA or gays, top, versatile, and bottom. So he's like, so Wena, what are you? I'm like, I'm a versatile. And then I ask, and Wena, he says, no, nah. And then he asks one, and then he responds saying, why would you ask me that? I'm married. You're sorry, lol, it's a habit. Because I'm used to answering this question when a guy who's interested in me is asking that. And then he says, lol, what? And then I say sorry about that. He's like, there's no need to be sorry because I am interested. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, lol, sorry. I'm like, there's no need to be sorry. What are you saying? What are you saying? Don't say sorry. Say something else. What do you mean you are interested? He's like, no, man, you are actually a very cool guy. So now, at this point, I'm not sure what to think, because this guy is saying I am interested. After I was explaining that, I normally answer this question from abantu that are interested in me sexually. You understand? So he's like, so I'm like, there's no need to be sorry. Just answer the question. What do you mean you are interested? He's like, no, you are very interesting. You're a very cool guy and also easy on the eye. And I'm like, you're not bad yourself. And then he's like, you're lying. I'm like, I swear, you're not bad yourself. And then this guy is on some, I'm top. So now I'm like, there's no way a straight guy would actually come through and say, I'm top. You understand? I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then he's like, please, can this conversation stay between us? I'm like, mom's the word. Like, I'm not going to tell anyone. Like, there's no way. But here am I telling the whole world. All 3,000 of you guys. I'm telling all 3,000 of you. So I'm like, no, mom's the word. I'm not going to say anything. This remains between us. And then after I told him this, he started visiting my place frequently. So he would come through, because I think now it's been a month and I've bought myself a TV stand. I've bought myself some, like a fridge. I already have pots. So now I can actually be able to sustain and live off my own hard work, I guess. I don't know how to say, but I basically don't need to go up and go eat at Sporas's place. So now her husband is coming here. You understand? Like, her husband is coming to see me instead. And also remember that him and I have already had a conversation about him being interested and him finding me attractive and me finding him attractive. And we've already established that we are named to LGBTQIA DSTV law. You understand? Like, So this guy starts coming to my place and visiting my place more frequently, and I wouldn't do anything, like we wouldn't do anything, we'd literally just chill, watch TV. I would sometimes cook, we'd chill, would sometimes drink, and then her children or their children or his children as well would sometimes come to my place with him. We'd all chill together without the mother though. Yabo? So the children keep calling me malume, 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 ndugu malume. And naye, in front of his children, he would call me malume, malume, malume. And whenever he would say malume, he would laugh. Yabo? Sharp. One day I asked him, why do you laugh when you call me malume? He's like, it's so weird calling you malume because I find you attractive. I'm like, but ndugu malume kaloku abantwana bakho. He's like, but we do know that awungo malume as in related to us, ne? Diti, I know, ati. I think what actually tipped the scales and we ended up doing stuff is what he said. He says, he says, you do know most, but aungo malume because we are related. Diti, I know, ati, so anything can happen between us and it would not be wrong. Diti, I know, like, I know I would smash you and not feel guilty about it. He's like, what? Did you smash you, not feel guilty about incest or anything? Or, you understand? Like, he says, but you know I'm married, did he? And so? I'm sure you guys are sitting there judging me. Like at this point, I swear guys, I was like, one thing about me, ngizwide mina ngizwide mina, one thing about me. So he's like, you know I'm married, but that has never stopped anyone. And at that point, waphakama owesilisa, waphakama umlisa waza apha kum right in front of me. What? Say that again. That there's nothing wrong with like smashing you. And the rapaza, when they give again lips, when they kaya ngomlomo ngenyeke, when they puza murtu, that guy kissed the living shit out of me. Okay, like he held my neck from the back. One son is one puza, and I was like, yo, that's la puza na iZimbabwe sana. Was a puza umfana wasezem, and I was like, oh my god, he's such a good kisser. And also because I know abantu bases, like I've worked with a lot of Zimbabweans and a lot of them are very homophobic. So for him to do what he did, I was like, oh my god. Ne? I was like, oh my fucking goodness. So we start kissing, we kiss. One thing about me, don't on a nerves or part of paranoia. So I was like, should we lock the door? I was like, wait, should we lock the door? He's like, yeah. I quickly locked the door and then we continue kissing. I think I was wearing a shirt, like one of these shirts is ulasu. Rather right to roop. Gone shirt. Never? I just took off the t-shirt. I'm a little room. One thing about me, I will pull you to my room, okay? I pulled him to my room. I'm posted on top of the bed. I got on top of him. I started kissing and kissing. One kukula umfana, he turned me around. He was on top of me and I was laying looking at him and I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? But at this point, I am H-word as nuts. It's been such a long time since I had ingangazi, and I'm thinking, ndiyayifuna yes, ndiyayifuna and ndizayifumana. So we start kissing. He takes off my pants, he takes off his pants, and ndithi ke mna ke condoms. Yabo? He's like, do you have some? Ndithi yes. So the pack I'm in the bathroom, I go to my toiletry bag, I get lubricant, I get condoms, I come back, and we continue kissing. And that man ate me up so good.
What? Hold up, wait a minute. Wow.
He ate me up so good. He ate it like it's groceries, okay? He ate the booty like it's groceries. And hey, waze wandiphethulula umliso shadile. Waze wandiphethulula, wandibraya umfana. Wandibraya umfana ngangangcoli. Yeah, he's like, Jonga, there was even a point where he literally covered my mouth like this because I was making such a noise. And because it was so good, and I could not make noise. So, wandibraya.
Hayi intsongo ndaqala uyiva.
Saqapa. And after sigqibile, he stood up, wanxiba. And I was like, what the fuck? Wanxiba, waphakama, waye bathroom, wasitula, wabuya, wanxiba, wahamba. He's like, okay, thanks so much, wahamba. Yo, thanks so much, Sana. Thanks so much. So now he left, and I'm sitting there like on my own, like on some, hey, what the fuck just happened? I'm like, what the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened? And now I'm sitting there like answering and going through all of this in my head. Hey, guys, what did I just do? And I made such a noise. And I'm sure everyone who lives in this building or people who live on my floor know who owns this unit I'm in. And they know who came in, because abantu, like, you know how someone would come into your apartment and people are just passing by the corridor. So even when he came in, there were people who passed. So now, obviously, if they're now hearing, because I was so loud, I was very loud. And if people are hearing sex noises as they walk out, as they pass by my apartment, obviously they're gonna put two and two together. Ukubana, hi man, sibone umyeni kaSpokazi coming in, and now kuyakiwana. Hayibo, what's going on? What's going on, yabo? So I'm going through all of that in my head, and he texts me, he's like, yo, I don't know how to feel. And now that puts me off kakulu, because I'm like thinking to myself, was it horrible? Or like, did I make him feel uncomfortable? What happened? Why is he saying, I don't know how to feel? So he's like, yo, bro, that was so good, but you were so loud. And I'm so embarrassed at this time because I was really loud, okay? I was really, really, really loud. So I'm like, it be like that sometimes. Like when you are hitting the right spots, I'll be loud, okay? So he laughs about it, and we text, and he's laughing, sending laughing emojis. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, thank God. It doesn't seem like this guy isn't into this anymore, because he's still chatting me up, yabo? So obviously he's still with it. So he starts complimenting me. He starts complimenting my skin, how soft my skin was, how soft my body is, and how much he loved yonke laa nto eyenzekileyo, how much he enjoyed it. And I'm obviously, guys, if I can return the compliments, I'm like, yo, that was so good. That was so good, okay? Like, I really enjoyed every minute of it. And so so we have this chat, and I'm like, at least he's not disappointed, and at least he's not awkward about it, yabo? Sharp. Now, a couple of days later, uSpokazi is like, yo malume sana ugqibele kudala ukuza kwam, kwenzeka ntoni? Ndithi yo sweetie ndiza kuza. So now I come back from work, and then I change, and then I'm like, let me just quickly go up to Spokazi. So I buy wine at the store, and then I go up to Spokazi's place. I bring wine, I'm like, bitch! Guys, one thing about me, I'm two-faced as nuts, okay? Please know this. So I get, I'm like, bitch! I brought some wine, let's drink, yeah, bro? So, we start drinking those Spokazi. It's me, her, and the kids. We start drinking, we're talking, kumandi, we're watching TV, and she cooked, and we're just having fun. We're talking. And I did not forget. Okay, I did kind of forget, there was this thing with me and her husband. At this time, it's not even like a thing in my mind. I'm not even thinking about it. And it only all came back to me when that this teeth on the at the door. This guy opens and comes in When he walks in, I turn, and I see him, our eyes lock. And he stands there like, and then he walks in. And then he's like, hey, Malume. And he giggles again after saying Malume. And I'm like, oh, this man was on because Untena on by just giggling and saying Malume. I'm like, I'm turned on. So, bitch. So he walks in and he's like, hey, Malume, call and I'm no. Comes through, he hugs me like he always does, and then he goes to his wife, kisses his wife. Guys, at that point, when he went to kiss her, I was like, kiss the children, goes to the bedroom, he changes, he comes back. Now he's wearing sweatpants and he's wearing underwear. And I'm like, oh, like, Uspokas goes to the kitchen, and I'm like, so I'm now looking at him on some. And he's looking at me now, you're making gestures on some. Yeah, but I'm like, no, and I'm still drinking. So he's like signaling, man, let's go to your place. And I'm like, nah. Yeah, but and then I'm like signaling, man, we're still drinking and having fun with those boys. And so we continued drinking. One thing about Sporas was a lightweight when it came to alcohol, ne? Because I think at this time it's been, hey, wait, I'm trying to think, man, what happened? I'm lying, guys, yes? I am genuinely lying. It wasn't a couple of weeks. It was a couple of months because Uspokas had a child and Uspokas was still breastfeeding at the time. Uspokas had given birth. When we were drinking, Uspokas had given birth and she was breastfeeding. Because I remember when she went to the kitchen, she was pumping. So she went to the kitchen to go, because she was drinking and then was pumping or something like that. So I think that's why she went to the kitchen. So it's like 3 months later, 4 months later since I moved in. So I've known them for like about 4 months now. So we've actually built a rapport and built like a friendship and a relationship with these people. Yeah, bro. So he's signaling, man, let's go. And I'm like, I'm still drinking wine with Uspokas, so I'm not going anywhere up until we finish this bottle. So Uspokas is a lightweight, and she's like, oh, guys, and I'm going to sleep. Yeah, bro. And Chobi, let me also go and let me leave and go to my place because I also feel like I'm also a bit TSP. Yeah, bro. So, because I'm like, I'm feeling a bit TSP now. So let me just go home. So the papai say, okay guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Whatever. Dhiye. I get to my place, I text him, I'm like, Woza. Hey! Not me inviting a married man for another round because him and I have already shared a round before and now we're gonna share another round again. And I'm inviting him to my place once more because his wife is drunk. Hey, Luna! So I call him up. I'm like, come through, and he's like, I'm coming. This guy, literally 5 minutes he was here. He comes through, and immediately when he gets here, we start kissing. And now, and yeah,
Jessica, we're alive.
guys, I am judging myself telling this story. And afterwards, we literally just laid there. Because now, at this point in time, I was like, don't be too loud. Do not be too loud because we don't want him to just leave. We just laid there on the couch and we like cuddled a bit. And he's like, oh, let me quickly go back up because the kids is sleeping. And I'm like, yeah, sure, sharp. Got dressed and left. Now, because this guy started coming here frequently, I think Uspokas noticed. Because she started acting so weird with me. I would like greet her on some, bitch, what are you doing? And she would be like, I'm with the kids, I'm a mom. Yo, hey bro, such an answer. I'm with the kids, I'm a mom. What the fuck? Like, I've been knowing that you're a mom. So what the fuck? So like, she would literally like give me such responses to a point where I was like, I think this is weird. I think this is weird. I think this is weird. And I remember there was a time, hey guys, there was a time where I had gone up to their place and Uspokazi had invited me, yabo, because she was being weird, and I was like, actually, you are being weird, and I understand what's going on. She's like, no, I'm so sorry, I wasn't being weird, but I was like, bitch, you were. So she's like, no, come through for supper. No. I just said his name. But wafika Uthando, and Uthando wafika, and he's like, yo, I wanna shower. So shower yabo, or bathroom yabo, and mine was in my bedroom because it was a 1 bedroom. Yabo was a 2-bedroom apartment. So bathroom, there was one bathroom. So like, as a apartments as in a passage and what. Like, from this room to another room to another room to another room. So if we say lounge, the bathroom is here. So I'll see from the bathroom. So from the bathroom, ungene, go through the lounge and you go to the bedroom. Yeah, bo? Like, if I'm sitting in the lounge, I can see the first bedroom's door and the second bedroom's door. Yeah, bo? So whoever is in the bathroom would walk past me when they are going to the bedroom. Yeah, well, so he's like, let me quickly go shower. He goes into the shower and comes out. And when he comes out, he walks past me. And it's me, Uspokazi, the kids went there. It's me, Uspokazi, and him, the kids went there. The kids had gone to the aunt, I think. So he comes out of the bathroom, like underwear, like briefs, yeah, about those tight, not briefs, but what do you call them? These tight boy leg, what I don't know what you call them, but he's wearing those yabo underwears, and he walks past. Obviously these things are tight as hell, and we all gonna see his package from his underwear, or he print a package jacket, from his underwear. So he walks past and he stands there and he like talks to me and this Pokazi in just his underwear and his topless. So I'm sitting there watching TV and I'm like, don't look at him. Don't look at him, because when I look at him, I'm obviously gonna look down, and Uspokazi is gonna look at me and see me looking down and see how much I blush when I look at his package, and she's gonna put 2 and 2 together. I don't know why I thought that, but I thought that. So I'm like, don't look. And Uspokazi is like, hey, wena yini wahamba la unqunu abagoqa yabo ufuna ubawusule lona, something like that. And I'm like, Mna, why am I in it? Why am I in it? And then he goes with. So, but she was like, after that day, again, she became awkward again. And I was like, I think this bitch knows. And I think it's time for me to actually call it, yabo, and find a new place. And after that, I like looked for a new apartment. And I was like, man, I think it's getting weird, because this podcast now isn't allowing him to come to my place. And she's like telling him, and he's telling me that she told him that Abantu are saying that he's been visiting me and they saw him coming out of my place. But she never addressed it with me, and I was like, before she even does, let me bounce. And I found a new place and I moved to a new place, and that's the story of how I was busy babsing my landlord, or my landlord's husband, and that's how things went, okay? So if you guys enjoy, I'm like just laughing thinking about it, because this guy was texting me just today. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a huge thumbs up. Please comment down below what you thought of the story. If you had a similar experience where you were smashing someone and you had to be like nice to their partner or something like that, or anything anything about the video, anything that you want to comment, please do comment it down below. Like the video, share the video, push the notification bell, subscribe, do the most, share the video, and please do tag me. Why am I spitting? Please do tag me when you share the video. If you share the video on Instagram, please do tag me so that I can also repost it on my stories as well. So yeah, that's how the video goes, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.